Hello my friends, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Elvis.
I'd like to talk to you a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the things that happened from my side of the story. There's been a lot written and a lot said about what happened to me, but never from my side.
So today, I'm just telling you right now, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab a blanket, because we're going to be here for a hot second. I'm going to tell you guys all about my summer of Elvis, my summer of EP travels, the summer I went on tour, if you will, and it's gonna be a good time. So if you haven't been following my Instagram page, you might not know, but this summer I spent pretty much the entire thing with some of my closest friends, traveling around doing all things Elvis related, and it was so much fun. While I was at Elvis Week this past year, I ran into so many people who stopped me and were like, oh my gosh, you've had the summer of your life, like I need to know all about it. And so this video is just kind of gonna be recapping what I got up to this summer, where I went, those kind of things. And then I will also be talking about Elvis Week at the end and doing my annual Elvis recap video. I am so sad saying that because I can't believe it's already over. I miss it so much. Oh my gosh. It goes by faster and faster every year. Does anybody else feel like that? It was one of the greatest that I've ever had, and so stay tuned for the end. I'm gonna go through like my Elvis Week, and then I'm gonna answer some of your guys' questions. I asked you if you had any questions about my summer or about Elvis Week in general, and a lot of you guys left some, so I'm gonna get to those at the end as well. I'm so grateful. Like, can I just start off by saying that, like, my summer this year was insane. Never in a million years would I have thought that, you know, I would spend an entire summer doing what I did this past year, and I'm just very, very grateful, very blessed, very lucky to have been able to do all that with the people that I love the most in the world. It's such a blessing. And so I just wanted to start off by saying that to begin with, because how lucky am I that I got to do all this stuff. I'm gonna try to add some pictures as well so that you guys can get a little like sneak peek. If you don't follow in my Instagram, this is like the kind of stuff that I would have posted. So anyways, we started off in June, right? Summer starts, and I flew down to Memphis to meet up with 3 of my girlfriends, and we spent I think like one night just to base it off in Memphis. We visited the house in the morning. We took some really cute videos. Just so happy to be back with these ladies that I get to see maybe like twice a year tops, with the exception of Sophia, because I saw her so much this summer, more than I've ever seen her in my life, and that was the best. But yeah, we were just back together again. A little tight-knit group of friends, and I absolutely loved it. So we spent some time in Memphis, and if I'm looking down, it's literally my notes, I'm sorry. But then we also visited Circle G during our little like overnight stay in town, and this was the best Circle G trip I've ever had, because usually it's just like either like a drive-by, you kind of look at it out your window, or like you get out really quick, get a picture, get back in the car, because I don't think you're supposed to like step on the property. I think it's like actually not, I think that's illegal. But we did that. We got out, we like went up to the house, we got some pictures on the like the front porch, we looked around back, we walked the street and like found the cross that he saw from the road, just like the acres of land that he loved so much. Like that was one of the best trips to Circle J I've ever had. One of like the most peaceful, and one of the longest too, because like I said, usually it's just like a quick get what you want to get picture wise and then get back in the car. But this time we were able to spend a little bit of time there, and it was so nice. I really hope that they decide to, or hope, I don't know, like I don't know what the problem is that they can't do this. I think it might, I don't know, like is it funding? I'm not sure. But like I hope that they're able to work on that, because that place is so special in Elvis's history, and some place that he loved very much. And so I would hate to see it fall down and or get like torn down. That makes me really sad. So I hope that someday it's able to get restored, because it's a beautiful place and you can definitely tell why he loves it so much. I digress though. The main reason that the four of us got together this summer in June was to go to the Tupelo Elvis Festival, which this is my second time at, and this time was just absolutely so much fun. Like, this trip to Tupelo was one of the best that I've ever had. I kid you not. It was so great. The festival is amazing. We got to just do a lot of like sightseeing, a lot of like seeing friends. It was just so nice. So we started off Tupelo. We checked into our Airbnb, the nicest freaking Airbnb I've ever stayed at in my life. We loved that place. We ate at like some really good places, like places that I don't even know. So if you're planning a trip to Tupelo, okay, listen, top places you must go eat. I would say top 3, okay? Chicken salad chick. Listen, probably like one of the top favorite foods I've ever had in my life. Am I a chicken salad girl? Not really. Like, it wouldn't be something I opt for, but that was the best chicken salad sandwich I've ever had in my life. And the interior of it was so cute. Like, it's like early 2000s kind of vibes. Very, very cute, very good vibes. Make sure to eat there if you're visiting Tupelo. Second, Pyros. Pyros is not, either is chicken salad chick, but Pyros is also not like contained only in Tupelo. I think it's a chain as well. Best pizza I've ever had. Like, it was so good. And the vibes in there were really good. It was just great. Third is Johnny's Drive-In. Classic to Tupelo. Elvis used to eat there apparently when he was younger. Great cheeseburger, great french fries, great atmosphere. Very vintagey vibes. So top 3 places. If you're looking for places to eat in Tupelo, I would recommend those 3. We did the Welcome Back to Tupelo concert. When I tell you guys, like, I bet you if people, like the people sitting around us at these concerts in Tupelo must have either like loved to watch us or really hated to be around us, because we were shaking the risers. It was so bad. Like, we were getting extremely into it. And it's, I lost my voice for like the entire time we were in Tupelo, but some of the best concerts I've ever attended. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what it is, if it was like the adrenaline of just being there with my friends or what. I don't know. The performers were amazing. The band, like, they were backed by the TIC band, which is like my favorite tribute band that exists in the world. They are so good. The concerts were just spectacular, and I had the time of my life at them. So we did the Welcome Back to Tupelo concert. We went to Fair Park. We got some pictures there. They had this huge like I don't even know, it was like a festival vibe in Fair Park. They had the Stax Mobile, which was super fun. They were giving away like free speakers to like the first couple of people that came. They were just like blasting music. They were, you know, they had like food trucks. It was so fun. I've never seen Fair Park like that ever. And I just really wanted to move to Tupelo again in that moment. Love it there so much. And I was like, oh my gosh, the community here is so, so cool. I just love it. We went to the hardware store to see like the little reenactment thing there. I've never seen that before either. And tell me why it made me cry. Like, it was so precious, and so to think back on how it all began that way, like little Elvis and Gladys in the heart and like standing in that exact same spot. That was very heartfelt and very touching for me, and I would definitely recommend. A lot of people like recommended that to me in the past, and I was like, oh yeah, I bet that'd be cute. No, it's actually very, very, very touching. So if you haven't been to those like reenactment things that they do during the festival season there, definitely check that out, because it was one of my favorite things that we did. We of course went to the birthplace. We walked around on the grounds and went up to like the statue on the hill, got some like really cute pictures. Just took our time, and really, like, it was beautiful weather the whole time, so we were able to just be outside and take our time and have like the peace of just like wandering through at our own pace, which means a lot to me. Being rushed is not the vibe when it comes to this kind of stuff. So that was just very, very fun. So we went to this place called Park Heights, right? It's a restaurant that overlooks the Fair Park, and we sat on the roof, had a rooftop view, ordered fancy drinks, and had the time of our lives. It was so much fun, and definitely one of the best dinners that I've ever had in Tupelo. The vibes, 11 out of 10. They were spectacular. Just being there with like, it was such like a girlfriend dinner type vibe. That was super amazing. So if you've never eaten there, this was our first time doing it, and I recommend it 100%. It was so beautiful. We went to the show called The Rocker, and I have have never gotten so lit in my life. It was so much fun. It was basically like the way it was described to us, like Elvis music on steroids. Or like if Elvis were to continue playing his music and like bring it into 2024, how it would sound. And I was like, okay, because I'm the kind of person, like, I understand, like, Elvis's music is Elvis's music, and it's in a world of its own, and like sometimes should not be like tampered with. But no, like, this was different. It was literally like the Philharmonic Orchestra, but like rock and roll. It was so good. I don't know how to explain it, but I literally, one of the best shows that I've ever seen. Like, the performers were amazing. The band carried it, like, so incredible. I know a lot of people had like mixed reviews on it from what I'm hearing, but I'm here to give you the positive and tell you that, like, one of the best shows that I've ever seen. So if they bring it back next year, you have to go see it because it was so good. So good. Again, Shaking the Risers, Zero Voice, amazing show. One of my favorite parts of the trip was when we got dinner with Donna Lewis. Donna, I'm so blessed and lucky to call her a close friend, and we were able to meet up with her and sit down with her and just treat her to dinner one night and hear her talk and share her stories, and it was one of the best nights of my life. I love this woman. I say this in every single like video that I'm talking about like Elvis Week or like a trip that I've seen her, because she just lights up the whole trip for me. She holds such a special place in my heart, and hearing her talk about him is just unlike anybody else that I've ever talked to. So I love Donna. I'm very, very glad that we got to see her, and it was a very chill night, just sitting down with her, getting dinner, and listening to her talk to us as friends. So one of the highlights of my trip for sure. We ended off Tupelo by going back and spending one more night in Memphis, and then we went to do another morning walk up at Graceland before we had to drop one of my friends off at the airport, and it was just the perfect closing day to our festival time together. I literally had the time of my life with these four girls, and it was such a fun trip. They made it incredible, and I mean, Tupelo is just, I love Tupelo. Like, to close off this section of my trip this summer, I love Tupelo so much. Every single time I go there, it feels like home. It feels like you are welcomed by like the nicest people. I meet some of like the nicest people who live there. It's insane, and they just care so much about the history that they own there, and that's come through there. And it's very heartwarming to see. I don't know how to describe it, but I just love Tupelo so much. And so if you're wondering if you should go to the festival any year, please do, because it's amazing and incredible, and unlike any other festival that I've ever gone to. So Tupelo, love you. Thank you for the memories. Moving on to the next place. On our way to our next location, we hit one venue on our trip there, and it was the Mississippi Coliseum. I posted all about this on my Instagram, so if you want to go check it out and hear some history behind it, then it's up for you to view over there. But that was super cool. I love going to venues. It's like my new favorite thing in the world. And you know, so many of them where I'm from are gone, so it's so nice to go visit them when they're not gone, but then also when they like cherish and respect and honor the legacy and history again that's come through that venue. That's amazing to see. So the staff there was super nice, let us in, let us go sit in the seats, let us play our music that we wanted, and just take our time and take some pictures. So that was very awesome. Our next stop of the summer was New Orleans. A Louisiana girl. I've never been to Louisiana. This was our first time, and we basically went to hit up the King Creole filming sites, which was super cool. I think this is like the first time that I ever did any movie sites, which, if you don't know me, I love the Elvis movies. I'm such a fanatic when it comes to those. I could talk about them forever. But yeah, King Creole, legendary, iconic. We got to see, I think, all of them that actually like took place on the streets of New Orleans, and like a couple buildings and things like that. We saw like the cathedral that you'll notice from the movie. Again, these are all posted on my Instagram and Facebook, so if you want to go see, then definitely go follow me over there. But we saw like the cathedral, we saw like the crawfish where he filmed the song Crawfish. We saw the high school, just certain areas like that. We like drove by where the dock used to be. It's washed away now because New Orleans has some pretty bad storms, but yeah, we hit up all the sites. It was very, very cool. Super hot though. Like, oh my gosh, I was sweating so much that whole time. I'll never forget that. But very, very fun. We also ate at some very like New Orleans, classic New Orleans places that you should go to if you ever visit. So I'm gonna shout out a couple. We ate at Napoleon House, which was really good. We tried these sandwiches that I literally forget what the name of them was, but they were really good, and they're like New Orleans classic, so I'll share an image. We tried gumbo, which wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be bad, but I was like, it wasn't bad. Me and Sophia liked it, so period. And we tried beignets, which are like the classic like New Orleans like little dessert bakery thingy, like a donut kind of thing. Not really though. It has like powdered sugar on top. Super good, super yummy, would eat again. And of course we walked through like the streets and stuff like that. There was jazz music playing, which is like so cool. That was like one of the things I was looking forward to most. So it was really cool to see that. We stayed at the Roosevelt Hotel one night, which is where Elvis stayed when he filmed King Creole, and that was an amazing experience. The staff there was super, super nice and gave us the history of what they could from when Elvis was there. They took us to this room called the Blue Room, or it used to be called the Blue Room. I don't know if it still is. I think it is, but they use it now for like a meeting room, like a convention center room. But back in the day, like when Elvis would have stayed there, so many artists used to come and play here, like Louis Armstrong and Frank Sinatra and Aretha Franklin. Like all these people used to come and play in the Blue Room because it was a nightclub, and it was super cool to be in that space because all these artists that I super, super love played there, and that was awesome. We stood on like the little stage area, and I wondered like if Elvis was staying there, if he ever went down there and listened to whoever was singing, which would have been awesome. So we got to do that. New Orleans was definitely an experience to be had. It was very, very cool, very culturally rich. Like you could tell like New Orleans is just like a world of its own and known for so many things. So it was really cool, and definitely something I'd recommend if you were just like interested in the King Creole history, but also like New Orleans history. I think it's really cool to go down there and see how much stuff is just like original to them. So that was awesome. On our way back from New Orleans, we stopped at two more venues. We did the Baton Rouge High School and the LSU campus venue. Elvis played at that one in the 70s, but the Baton Rouge one in the 50s. Again, super nice staff at the Baton Rouge High School, like literally let us in, let us go to the auditorium, let us sit on the stage, let us walk around. Like it was awesome. It was incredible. They were super nice. Next stop was Texas. I love Texas. Every single time I've been to Texas, I've had the time of my life, and it's just so much fun. We stayed with one of our good friends down there who owns a private collection, and we were able to spend a few days just viewing his collection, looking at all the things that he had, incredible stuff that he had. I wrote down a few of my favorite things that he had. He had the bike from That's the Way It Is, the red like tandem bike. He had the speech from the 10 Outstanding Young Men's Awards that Elvis literally wrote and read from. He had the FTD glasses. If you see him on the set of Follow That Dream, those glasses, super random, but I was like, I know where those are from. He had those. He had so many of his like personal books, a lot of pieces, like many pieces of jewelry, and like 10,000 other things that I could never name. He had one of the best collections that I've ever seen, and he was super generous with his time and with his stuff. Like he was just super nice to us, made us feel like family, and let us ask questions, let us hold things, let us take pictures of things, which I'm so grateful for because, oh my gosh, it was amazing and incredible. And one of the best experiences of my entire life, our friend bought the suit from It Happened at the World's Fair. And he was like, do you want to help me put it on the mannequin? And we absolutely freaked out. And so we got to place the suit, I'll put a picture, from It Happened at the World's Fair on a mannequin, dress the mannequin, and then put it on display. And oh my gosh, never in a million years would I have thought that I would have ever had the opportunity to do something that cool. But it was the best thing that I've ever gotten to do. So honestly, probably top 3 memories of the summer was getting to do that, and I am so grateful to our friend for letting us do that and letting us just be a part of that, and sharing that experience with us, because he knew how much it meant to us, and it was just awesome and incredible. And like being that close to Elvis, in a way, nothing compares to that. So that was amazing, and I'm so grateful. On our way out of Texas, we stopped at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium, which is like where Elvis got his start in the 50s, pretty much. Very, very special venue there. We didn't get to go inside because it was closed the day that we went, so we'll definitely have to go back and go inside another day. But we got to take some pretty cool pictures and see like the statues out front, which was super cool. And then we also did the Texarkana Municipal Auditorium, which I had done before, but Sophia hadn't done, so it was really cool to go back there and see that again. And then after that, we drove to Memphis again, and we spent about like, I feel like 2.5 weeks, I think it was, working in Memphis. We worked for the EP Boulevard Pawn Shop. It was an awesome part of the summer. We basically worked just like with collections and with organization for the warehouse and all that stuff for John. We ended up doing, oh my gosh, we hit like a bunch of different states in the time that we were with him. I think we went to Alabama, we went to Arkansas, we went to Illinois. We did the Collinsville Elvis Festival in Illinois, which was super fun, and like the first festival experience that we had outside of like Elvis Week or Tupelo. That was amazing, and I loved going there and working behind the table for that, and just seeing the performers there was super, super awesome. And yeah, we just were like Memphis natives for like 2.5 weeks, and it was really, really cool and such a great experience. So very, very thankful for that. While we were down there too, we ended up going to like one of the movies one night at the guest house, and it was a 68 special. And for those of you who don't know me, I love the 68 special. It's my favorite show. Such a historical moment in Elvis's story, and seeing that on the big screen was life-changing and legendary, and something I'll never forget. And another place we also got to visit on the way to Collinsville, we went to the St. Louis Record Exchange, which is this huge vinyl like record shop in St. Louis, Missouri, and it was awesome. I mean, me and Sophia had heard about this place for such a long time, and like finally being able to go there was a really cool experience. So I wanted to shout that out as well. That was kind of the end of the first half of my summer. We said goodbye, which was sad because we had spent like, me and Sophia had spent, oh my gosh, like 3.5 weeks together or something like that of the summer, constantly with each other, which you would think that we'd get sick of each other. Never did. I love her so much. So we had to say goodbye, and I was really, really sad. But then I went back home, and Maria came to visit me in Pennsylvania, and we did a little bit of like antique shopping. She was down here for a car show, and I went down there where she was, and we went to this like big antique store down in the area, and we shopped Elvis because they had this huge Elvis section that she wanted to show me there. And so that's what we did, and we got to catch up. We got to spend some time together and buy some Elvis things, and that was super, super fun. So I got to see Maria in between Tupelo and Elvis Week, which was a great little like buffer because I missed her so much. And that was like a highlight of my summer as well. Just getting to spend time with her up here where I'm from and see her again was very, very special. My mom and I ended up going to vacation in New England for about a week in the beginning of August. And while we were up there, we stopped at 3 different Elvis venues that my good friends Jay and Michael helped me find. The Elvis Back on Tour, I guess it's EP Back on Tour now, folks helped me kind of pinpoint some venues that were still around where I was in that area. So that was really cool. I also posted all of those on my Instagram, so if you want to go see those and check those out, I posted like some backstory of the venues and like some fan point of views from people who attended those shows. So that was awesome. And I always feel like very proud of myself when I visit a venue alone. I mean, my mom was there too, but like I wasn't being shown the venue by somebody else. I was like going out and finding the venue and like doing it on my own. So I always feel like very independent when I do that. So we got to do 3 different ones in New England, and that was super, super fun. And then I came home. I literally got packed and I left the next day for Elvis Week after we got home from New England. And let me tell you something. This Elvis Week was one for the books. It was an incredible week, and so many memories made as always. I'm just gonna read to you guys a couple of the events that we did, because that was one of the big questions, like what things did you guys do? What things were worth it? I think everything that we did was worth it. I really had a great time at everything we did. So I'm gonna read you guys all of the events that we ended up doing. Me and Sophia went to First and Last Chance, which is an ETA event, basically like qualifiers for like the ultimates, for both this year and next year. That was really fun. Honestly, I loved supporting like that talent, and then being at like Hernando's Hideaway for the first time was such a vibe. I want to go back so bad. We had the best time there, drinking our Shirley Temples and just partying it up for Elvis Week. It was so much fun. We did a bunch of the after parties at the guest house, which always a good time. Always cannot recommend those enough. You just get to like see your friends, dance to amazing music, celebrate being in Memphis together. It's just, I love going to those after parties so much. We went to Sun Studio, we went to Stax. Those 2 places, can't recommend those enough. Great museum opportunities, and just like as well as being in the spot where it happened, incredible. And the tour guide's amazing. We went to Elvis the Next Generation, which I always talk about this show. I actually made like a video dedicated to the show back in 2022 when I saw it for the first time, and Natasha has just took it and ran with it and made it even better and better every single year that I've gone to see it. I think this is the 3rd year now, and it's just gotten better over the years. And I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of her vision. I'm proud of what she's doing with it. The show was incredible. I mean, the performers that took part this year were insane. Mara Justine, I think her name was like the female artist this year that they had. She blew me away. She was insane, like fantastic. Her voice was incredible. Yeah, just it was an amazing show. Definitely recommend. I always say this, but if you haven't been to the show, you need to go. You need to go and see what it's all about. I mean, the vision of just like bringing Elvis to the forefront for the next generation and seeing how the younger generation of Elvis fans are being impacted and inspired and, you know, touched by Elvis and his music and his legacy is heartwarming every single time. So shout out to you, Natasha. The show this year was amazing and incredible as always. We went to the Dean Z Unplugged show, which I did this one time in like 2021, I think, and then this was like my second time going to it. I love this show so much, and I don't know why I don't go every year, because every time I've gone, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great, because they just sit down and they sing the songs that are kind of like the underground songs, the underrated songs, the songs that don't get as much attention as the other one, as the more popular ones. And it was great. I mean, Dean Z, incredible. He's so great with an audience and very charismatic, very like warm, very welcoming, very like he's just he makes you feel like you're his friend every single time, whether he's like on the stage performing or like you see him and you meet him and you talk to him outside of performance. He's just a warm, generous person, and you can tell how much he loves Elvis through the things that he says and how he speaks to you and how he spends time with you just like Elvis would. So supporting him during that show was awesome, and definitely like a show experience that I'll never forget. I posted about this on my Instagram, but he said during the show, it was like the ending of the show, and he was singing Can't Help Falling in Love, and he asked us all to sing along, and he asked the band to stop playing so he could hear us sing, and we were all singing the song with him, and it was just like a quiet, gentle, like unison of voices, and he was like, he can hear you. He like spoke into the microphone. He's like, he can hear you. And in that moment, oh my gosh, the tears in my heart just like felt like so happy, like filled up with happiness. Because it's true. And I posted about that on the 16th, but that was really the moment of the week that really stood out to me so much because everything that we do for him during Elvis Week, all of the people that come, all of the love that is shown, he can see that and he can hear that and he's seeing it all, you know what I mean? And so that was just a very special moment of Elvis Week that happened at that D&Z show. So thank you, Dean, for contributing to a memory that I will never ever forget. We went to the Peabody, we hung out there one night, got some special drinks, got some fancy like mocktails, and then we also took some pictures, and then out of nowhere just saw Larry Geller and got to meet Larry Geller. Highlight of the trip, like I'm not even kidding. It was one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had, because you hear stories of like the past where you would just see these people like Scotty Moore, and like you would just see like Charlie Hodge, or you would see these people that knew Elvis just walking around, and they were so accessible and easy to go walk up to and introduce yourself. And that was like the first time I ever really experienced that in like a public place. Like we just saw him walking down the street with like his crew, and they were so nice to us, and they were like, oh, do you want us to get his attention for you? And I was like, oh my gosh, please, like, yes. And they did, and he was so generous, and he stayed and he talked to us, and he said things I will never forget. Again, I posted about that whole experience on Instagram, so if you want to go read that, just so I don't make this video too long. But it was one of the best experiences of my life, and I love Larry so much, and he has just been an absolute inspiration in the Elvis world for me for a very long time. And so getting to just stop and talk to him like one-on-one was very, very special. So that'll be something I'll never forget as well. We went to see Bill Cherry's like 1977 in concert show, which was incredible. For those of you who don't know, the CBS special holds just like the absolute most special place in my heart. I mean, I know I talked about the 68, and that is my favorite show, but the 77 special is just on its whole other level by itself. And just a show that I have seen not celebrated nearly as much as it should be. I feel like it's almost seen as taboo a lot of the times because it happened so close to his death, and just the way that he looked, and just like, you know, people don't regard it as something to be seen as like something of importance and celebration in a good way. And so seeing Bill perform the show and bring like, I don't know, bring like a spark to it, bring energy to it, bring celebration to it was amazing, because that show deserves it so much. It's such an incredible show. And 77 Elvis deserves just as much love as like 68 Elvis or 73 Elvis, or, you know, whatever decade we're talking. And so seeing Bill perform that was a highlight again of the week. I'm going to say that so much, but it definitely was. Bill Cherry, like, probably, in my opinion, I mean, everybody has their own opinion, the best ETA that I've ever seen in my life. Just a really, really nice guy as well. And the way that he performs and carries Elvis's legacy, just how he talks like on stage about Elvis and about why he does what he does and who he does it for, is like giving me hope in the Elvis community world. Because I don't know, I feel like why we do what we do can get so lost sometimes, and who we do it for can get so lost sometimes in like drama or in, you know, recognition for ourselves, whatever it might be. And I'm not pointing fingers to anybody, but I am just saying it's so heartwarming to come across somebody who's been so successful but knows who he owes that to and why he continues to do what he does. It's not about him. He always says it's about Elvis, and it's about that music and about what he started and what he's brought to the world. So yeah, getting to talk with Bill and getting to see that show, amazing. And I can't recommend it enough. If you ever get the chance to go see it, 10 out of 10. We hung out in the lobby of the guest house a ton, and I got to meet new friends there, see some old friends in the lobby. I love the lobby of the guest house. It's like the best vibes of all time. I met Sam Thompson in the lobby. I met Stump from, he played with Elvis, a few times, I think, but he also was the drummer for the Sweet Inspirations, and I love the Sweets so much. So meeting him was incredible, very, very honoring experience. We ended up going to the Conversation show, and that's one of my favorite events to go to every year, just hearing all these people that knew him sit and speak. Larry talked for a good chunk of time at this event, and that made my whole freaking day, because honestly, just give him his own event at this point. Like, he had some amazing, incredible stories. I took a huge long list of notes from what people said, and so I'm gonna try to post again on Instagram these things that really stood out to me from the stories that these people shared. But afterwards, we actually got to go meet Larry Geller again. He was doing a meet and greet and signing things free of charge, which I have to put out there. Like, he was one of the only ones who wasn't charging something. During the week, I've seen like people, you know, you have to pay for like a picture or you have to pay for an autograph, those kind of things. And I get it. Like, if that's how you run your business, then that's good, and like, you do you, what you need to do. But it speaks volumes to me when they come and they spend time with you and they talk to you without, you know, rushing you. They sign things for you and they just have a minute with you without charging you money, because I feel like that's something Elvis would have done. I know that's something Elvis would have done, and that's something Elvis did do. And I know it's something it can't be done by everybody, but to have been able to go back and talk with Larry and just say, like, thank you again, let him know what I do and how important, you know, the humanity of Elvis is to me, and what I do, and how he really was like somebody that Elvis could go to be understood and to be listened to without judgment. I had to thank him for that. And he ended up signing my Leaves of Elvis's Garden book, which is my favorite Larry Geller book. And we got a picture, and it was an amazing, incredible experience. So thank you to Larry. Again, a unique individual in the Elvis world, but one of, you know, my favorite people, and super, super generous with his heart and with his time with us every single time that we came across him this week. So yeah, very thankful. The Vigil, of course. Every year the Vigil just is more special to me, and this was my 4th Vigil, which is insane to even say out loud, but I got to spend it with some of my closest friends, and we got to walk it together. And I think it was something crazy, like the heat index was like 111 or something that night. Like, people were passing out. I didn't see anybody pass out personally, but I heard stories that people were passing out. But people still came and like weathered the storm and stood in the heat for hours and hours to pay their respects to somebody that they love so much. And it was a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. It always is. I'm getting emotional. Sorry. Not sorry, but it every year it just gets more and more beautiful. And just to see that people show up, so many people show up every year, regardless of heat or rain or whatever it might be. You know, we're all sleep deprived, we're all starving because we don't eat, we're all like, you know, feeling all these things, and yet we come and we stand in line for hours and hours with our candle to show our love and our dedication to somebody who's changed all of our lives. And the Vigil is just my favorite time of each Elvis week. And if you've never been to a Vigil, there's nothing like it, and it'll change your life. And I hope you get to go some year, because it's amazing. And again, my favorite time of the whole week. On the 16th, we spent that day kind of just immersed in all things Elvis. We toured the house. We ended up getting the last tour of the day, so it was very, very quiet in the house. It felt like we were just walking around with him, and, you know, we got to see all the outfits on display that they had this year, which was super, super awesome. I mean, being in the house on the 16th is a very special experience, and I got to do it with some of my best friends, so it was an incredible day. We went to the complex, and we saw, my favorite thing in the complex this year was the Lisa Marie Presley exhibit that they expanded. For those of you who don't know, I absolutely love and adore Lisa, and I met her just a few days before she passed away in 2023, and so to see this exhibit expanded and more things brought out to just display how incredible her life was very heartwarming, very touching, and very well deserved. She was an incredible person, very strong, courageous, generous, fierce, loyal. All these adjectives come to mind when I think of her, but just to see her things out and displayed so proudly made me very happy. So that was probably the best thing that I saw at the exhibit this year, that I saw at the complex this year. We ended off the 16th by going to the Vegas concert, which was probably the closest that we'll ever get to seeing Elvis on the big stage, performing for us. It was awesome. I love those shows when they put them up on the big screen and they bring the live band out, and it's just, you feel like you're there, you feel like you've seen him, or at least as close as you'll ever get again. But it was an incredible concert experience, and yeah, I think they do one of those, at least one every Elvis week, or at least they have in the past couple of years. So if you haven't gone to one of those, definitely check those out, because those are incredible. Okay, so this video is already super long, but I wanted to answer a couple of questions that you guys had that I didn't already work into the video. I'll try to go through them as fast as I can. Somebody asked, what did I buy? I honestly did not buy that much this year. I really wanted to focus more on having like memories rather than like physical stuff to bring home. So instead of buying a lot, I bought tickets to events and to shows and things like that, just experiences and memories I could take home with me. But I did end up getting 3 FTDs and bringing those home. So my good friend Maria has got me hooked on FTDs. I got a new record player, so I'm very excited to get more into that world of FTDs. But that's what I bought this year. But mostly just a lot of like memories and heart pictures and things like that. Someone asked for some must-visit places. I have a whole video on my YouTube channel talking about things to do while you're in Memphis. Things that, you know, you can buy tickets to go tour, things that you can go do for free, places to eat, I think I put in there as well. I just wrote down a couple that I'll speed run. Sun Studio, Stax, obviously Graceland, Audubon. Tupelo isn't in Memphis, but if you're in Memphis, you could drive an hour and go to Tupelo. I highly recommend you have to go to Tupelo. The Rock and Soul Museum in Memphis, the Peabody is a cool vibe. This year we actually went to we were able to go inside the Continental Ballroom where he had his prom, and we just like stayed in there forever and took pictures and danced and laughed and had fun. And so that's very fun as well. But yeah, again, if you want like more ideas, things you don't have to pay for, things that aren't necessarily all Elvis related, but things to do in Memphis, go check out that video that I posted. I'll try to link it if I can, or put it somewhere so that you know what it looks like. But yeah, you can get a bunch of information there. Somebody asked, what package should I buy when I'm going to Elvis Week? Me personally, I like to get the step below VIP, I believe it's the Entourage ticket, because I don't prefer the tour guide to be in my group. So you can move through the house at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with the group, that kind of thing. And you can still go in the house, you can still do the complex, all that stuff. So that would be the package I would recommend. But I heard amazing, incredible things about the new Archives tour that you can take. I didn't personally take it this year. I want to take it. I haven't heard one bad thing about it though. So if you are interested in that, I heard that it's definitely worth the money. Someone asked, like, should I go with my friends? I'm trying to get my friends hooked on Elvis. Girl, I love going solo. I've gone solo before, but I also think that there's nothing like being in Memphis with your best friends. There's nothing like it. It's the ultimate definition of happiness for me. And so yes, if your friends want to go with you, take them with you, make memories. It is so much fun. I can't recommend that enough. Yes, absolutely take your friends. My friend Lisa said that her favorite part of Elvis Week was seeing her Memphis children. Lisa, I love you so much. I love you, Gianna. Love you, Lily. Love your whole gang. Love the whole tribe. You guys are truly like my family away from home. And this year, I'm so glad we got to sit down and like actually have time to like chill out and like talk and just spend time with each other. And it was one of the highlights of my trip. So thank you for being my Memphis mom. I love you, I miss you, and I hope to see you again really, really soon. Somebody asked me what my thoughts on the Presley for a Day tour is. I was actually at the Conversations event when Joel announced all these new upcoming plans for Graceland. Honestly, I mean, my honest reaction to that was like, that's freaking sick. I would love to do that. Of course, it's a lot of money. I knew it was going to be a lot of money to do things like that. It's going to be a pretty penny, but if it means a lot to you, maybe you can save up and you can go and you can do it for once, and just have that experience. I know some people that's like out of the question and they'll never be able to afford that. But if I was ever able to afford it, I would definitely do it, because I mean, riding a horse on the Graceland lawn, riding golf carts, I mean, that's an Elvis experience right there. So I think it's very cool. I would definitely love to do it if I ever had the funds to do it ever in my life. I think it's a cool idea. And yeah, I'm trying to remain positive about this kind of stuff. I know there's a lot of negativity going around about it. But if you try to just look for the good in things, I think it'll save everybody a lot of energy and a lot of negativity and stress. So try to find the good in this stuff. I mean, I know it's not for everybody, but for me, I think it's a pretty cool experience that I would love to be able to do someday if I ever had the chance. To end off this video, somebody asked if I could share any Elvis magic moments, and honestly, this year I had so many, so many, but I think like the top just overall feeling that I've had that I think I can relate to Elvis magic is just the feeling of like peace and acceptance and just absolute joy that I have just being around Elvis all the time, and being around these people who accept me and who love him in like the same way I do, and people who celebrate him and who are all there for the one common reason. It's really, that to me is just magical in itself, in and of itself, because it's just something that every single year it never gets old. And to go down there and just to be surrounded by the love that people still have for him is nothing short of magical. And so this year really cemented that for me. You know, just the love that I felt and the peace and the gratitude, absolute, just utter gratitude. I think if one word could sum up my summer, it would be gratitude, because I've had some of the best experiences of my life this summer, made some of the best memories, met some of the best people, spent time with my best friends. It's just, and we celebrated the best man. So it was just an incredible summer. I'm so sad it's over. But I'm not gonna just sit here and wallow in that when I could just be happy that it happened and that I have all of these amazing memories now because of it. And I'm sure so many more amazing memories to come, because with Elvis, he's just kind of the gift that keeps on giving. So I knew this video was gonna be long. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. Honestly, play it on your way to work for the next 3 days, because it'll probably take 3 days to listen to this. But I love you guys, and thank you so much for all of the love and support that you all show to me all the time. And thank you for loving Elvis as much as you all do, and for carrying, you know, the torch so proudly and sharing his legacy and his story the way so many of you do so beautifully. And I'm very honored and very proud to be a part of this community and a part of a family of people who are just some of the best people that I've ever met in my life. So I just wanted to put that out there and say thank you. I have so many amazing, incredible things already in the works for Let's Talk Elvis for this fall and the rest of 2024. So definitely make sure to keep an eye on the channel. I have, I think, like 2 more trips planned this year as well. So if you guys want to keep up with those travels and like what's going on, then definitely follow my Instagram. I post so much over there. A lot of you guys have been asking like, when are you gonna make a new YouTube video? And I just had 0 time this summer because I was traveling and doing so many amazing things. So I didn't have time to sit down and film a video, but I always make time to post about what's going on. So definitely follow me over on Instagram, my boy, that's my handle, and that's where I pretty much live. But so many exciting things happening for the rest of 2024, and I can't wait to take you all along with me. That's about all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all so much, and I'll talk to you guys the next time. All right, bye.